You want to know the easiest way to beat the gun control agenda? Take some non-gun people shooting. Show them that it's fun. So welcome back to Bullets and Brass. This is sort of political, sort of not. I've seen it touched on over the years, here or there, but never really laid out as a this is what's going on kind of thing. So I thought I'd do it. I'm sure it's been done, I just haven't seen it myself. The anti-gun agenda is not just let's pass laws banning guns or making it more difficult to get guns. That's almost a sideline. The biggest part of their agenda is making guns evil, scary, and bad to the general population. Because most people don't go shooting regularly. Many people have never handled a gun. If you live in a city that is relatively anti-gun, politically speaking, you may not even be aware of where to legally buy a gun or go shoot a gun. So part of their agenda is that they are making it so that larger and larger portions of the population have no firsthand positive experience with a firearm. And giving those people the impression that anybody who is pro-gun must be one of those bad people that they have dealt with. You are that gangbanger. You are that criminal. Now you might be wearing overalls and have a hayseed stuck in your mouth, but hillbilly bad too, right? They're marginalizing that chunk of the population with the long-term goal of shrinking the total number of gun owners down to the point where it's a non-important segment of the population they can just get rid of. They can ban guns and there's not enough people to say no. This is the agenda. This is the long-term play. And they have been at this for decades and decades and decades. This has been going on since the 20s. So 1920s, not 2020s. So the easiest way to fight back on this is to take somebody shooting. Do you know somebody? Do you work with somebody? Do you have family members, friends who are not gun people? Take them shooting. Like, have them have fun. Don't be the dick that takes the new 12-year-old who's never shot a gun and hands them a 12 gauge and watches them fall on their ass. Don't do that. Teach them right. Let them have fun with it. Let them have a positive firearms experience. Make them want to do it again. If they are kids, make them ask their parents why their camp doesn't have a shooting program. If they are adults, give them an experience that has them going, hey, can you help me pick out my first gun? You want to pull them in far enough that they are now curious enough to engage their own brain and ignore the anti-gun agenda. If you are somebody who lives in the country or has property out in the country where you can go shooting, invite city family, invite city friends out to a barbecue with shooting, some archery, some fishing if there's that's an option. Take them out and let them experience these things that they would not otherwise experience without a lot of effort on their part. Because if they don't know that they want to do it, if they don't know that it's fun, they won't go to the effort of finding a way to do it. The other thing you can do is fight for local educational programs. Fight to keep archery, firearms training at your local camps, whether it's Boy Scout, just a day camp, or anything like that in your local area for kids, boys and girls. There's nothing about archery or firearms that is gender specific. Nothing at all. In fact, if anything, women should be more interested. Training women to enjoy firearms, to enjoy the skill, to practice, to train, to learn them, is worthwhile. This is the ultimate in feminism. You are empowering women. So, 4-H programs, various, small archery, small firearms programs at local clubs for new shooters. It is something the anti-gunners are constantly chipping away at. They make the insurance higher and higher. They make the zoning regulations more and more difficult. They require more and more certifications that are more difficult to get. They have reduced funding for them in many cases. It is just a constant chip, chip, chip. And if you don't fight back on those things, you find yourself going, well, why don't any of the young folks now shoot? Why did none of these teenagers shoot? I can't get any of them, to come out and support this event. Well, because they didn't do it in their when they were little kids. They didn't do it at their camp. They didn't learn it the way my generation did, where it was just part of life. Firearms education, starting from very young all the way through adulthood, is key to fighting the anti-gun agenda. If people are familiar with firearms, if people are comfortable with firearms, if people understand what they are and how they work, they are way less likely to be influenced by the anti-gun lies. So, take care, guys.